screen also. Um,
This is my result asking for license 50.
did
Let me
you
open and look.
did you download the free version, or did you download the one I said you should download for PC?
The one you said you should download for PC. This Linux.
Okay. Just give me a second. Let me get my screen shared. You also let me know when you can see my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, sure.
You can see my screen, not me, right?
Yeah, I can see you and I can see your screen too.
But which one do you want? Do you want to see the screen only?
No, both is okay.
Are you sure both is okay?
Yeah,
All right then. Okay, so let's get started. Today we will be looking at storytelling. Okay, I said within the course, because we're looking at content creation, you can help me mute your mic because I think there's an interference. So when you have a question to ask, you can put your mic on back up. Is that okay?
yeah.
Awesome. So I said the first few parts of the course is going to be theoretical. Okay, we're going to be looking at some concept. We're going to have like a thorough understanding of what makes filmmaking and editing works. Okay, so it's not just to jump on your editing software, except you already have like a basic knowledge. And most persons who say they have knowledge, right, when you look at the work they are outputting, I used to be like that, right? I've been in media, arts, and entertainment for over 2 decades. Okay, I was born into a family of creatives, so we were actively creative. I started creating and engaging in music, dance, and drama at the age of 5, right? Because when I was born into my family, I was introduced to that. Okay, now I've been doing this for a long time. Doesn't mean I am good or I was good at what I was doing. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So it's not that yes, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been editing with Resolve. I've been editing with CapCut. I've been editing with so and so. Doesn't mean you'll be good. All right. So there is a 50% chance that you'll be whack, you'll be shit, you'll be trash. Right. So what will make you good? What will make you become better? As I started becoming better in creating videos, is you need to understand the philosophy that holds it together. All right. There are philosophies that holds every single thing together. It is the philosophy that makes you skillful, not the tool. All right. The tool will aid you, but the philosophy and understanding of the principles of editing, the principle of filmmaking, content creation is what will make you skillful. Okay, and storytelling is actually the lifeblood of filmmaking. Now, when I say filmmaking, you'll be like, okay, what about content creation? When we go into content creation in the module 2, I'll start breaking down some concepts most persons don't understand when it comes to content creation. If you write on your story or on your WhatsApp anything meaningful, sometimes it doesn't even have to be meaningful, but as far as it is something that someone is interacting with, it is content. So content is not just video, it's not just movie. All right, content can be written, it can be audible, it can be audio, right? It can be a lot of things. Okay, so storytelling, the art of storytelling in filmmaking and content creation. Now, storytelling is really broad. Okay, we are trying to narrow it down to content creation, filmmaking, editing. Okay. Now, if my pace is too fast, guys, you can if my pace is too fast, you can just call on my attention. Then I'll try to reduce my pace. Okay. So storytelling. The best story that is ever told is your own story. See, a lot of times, most persons think, okay, for me to become a better storyteller, I need to have much experience. I need to be traveling. I need to have a lot of knowledge. It doesn't really, that's not really the case. Okay. You just need to know how to tell what is going on in your life. I've seen most persons who come on TikTok and it's their everyday life, right? Maybe they ate a particular food, the food is not sweet, and they just open up their camera and begin to yap. They begin to talk about how they went to, a restaurant. I don't want to mention any name, right? They went to a particular restaurant and they ate their food and their food is not sweet. Now, you begin to ask yourself, how are they getting views? How are they getting likes? Okay, why are people interacting with that piece of content? It's something that we are going to break down today. So you don't need to try to be somebody else to tell for you to tell a better story. You can pick your everyday life. Okay, maybe something is not working well. You can use it to create content. You can use it to create a short film. You can use it to create something engaging. So the best story that is ever told is your own story. You just need to know how to refine your story, present it better, have good hooks, have good retention, and ultimately sell, all right, with that piece of content or that piece of story that you are giving out. What is storytelling? Storytelling in film and content creation is the art of empathy engineering. What do I mean by empathy engineering? One of the things that we try to do, no matter the kind of content, all right, that we are putting out. Now, there are different types of content, right? One of the things that we're trying to do is to connect at an emotional level. Okay? If I come on here and I am trying to give news, even in newscasting, right? You need to be a very good storyteller to be a newscaster or a news broadcaster. So what is your intention? What are you trying to get when you shoot a short film or you film yourself when you are working or cleaning up your workspace? What do you want people to feel? All right, so there's a structural framework for content creation. Very simple structural framework. One, it should inspire. The second one, it should inform or educate. Then 3, maybe you want to sell. Now, these 3 things I just mentioned, you can twist it however you like. Now, we are going to be looking at, when we're going to content creation proper, we are going to look at, structural frameworks to create better content, right? To become better content creators. It doesn't matter if we are going to use just videos. It doesn't matter if we're going to use just images. It doesn't matter if we're just going to use audios. All right. So when you see empathy engineering, what we're talking about is connecting at an emotional level. Okay. Because when a story resonates at an emotional level, one, it will be memorable. So I can remember it, and if I am able to connect with my audience emotionally, they will tell other people about the content, right? If a content is entertaining, for instance, now, if it's entertaining and it resonates with you, all right, emotionally, you want to tell that joke to somebody else. You will not want to keep it to yourself, right? So much so, other videos, if you watch a good film, you want other persons to, watch that film with you, right? No matter the piece of content, if you're able to connect with people at an emotional level, right, they'll want to share that story with other persons. Okay, so it is a process of arranging visual and auditory elements, not just to convey information, but to spark a specific emotional response from the audience. That is our goal. The moment you're able to spark an emotional response, and how do you gauge emotional response? That your audience are connecting with your content at an emotional level. One is through likes, comments, and shares. So these are the 3 pillars we use to gauge if our audience are connecting with our piece of content at an emotional level. So you want to get them to like your content, you want to get them to share your content, you want to get them to comment on your content. Now, it doesn't matter if you're directing a feature film or editing a 60-second TikTok, the core principles remain the same, though the pacing and delivery differ. So what do I mean by pacing and delivery? Now, pacing has to do with how your story unfolds. So it can be fast, it can be slow, it can be a mix of both. So there is mixed pacing. Mixed pacing is the combination of fast and slow pacing. Every story that is unfolding either unfolds very fast. Now there's this guy that he's a friend to Very Dark Man who I've forgotten his name. Right, he just sets his phone and he begins to talk. He wears a lot of beats. His story unfolds very very fast. He talks very 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 fast, and people like engaging, right, with his content. Why? Because of the way he speaks fast. I don't know if you've seen, right, when I don't know if you've seen something where, just give me a second. I don't know if you've seen where you put a particular post up and the speaker is very slow with speaking, and someone now comes to tell him, talk fast, I beg, I no get data. How many of you have experienced something like that? Or can you be fast? Data is now expensive. I just remember that not all of us on this call are Nigerians. So permit me, I may be using pidgin sometimes. Let's just try to to catch up. Okay, so that's because when it comes to TikTok, we need to understand, when we are telling stories, what platform are we telling these stories? Are we telling stories on YouTube? Now, when it comes to YouTube, it means that it's going to be a longer way where the story is unfolding. It can be slow, it can be fast, right? So it takes a lot. It takes people who are very intentional to be on YouTube. Okay, but for TikTok, Instagram, other short form content, people want it to be fast. They want it to be snappy. They want to get value 60 seconds and they're out, right? So you need to know what platform you are creating for, but it still doesn't matter. I've seen someone create long form on TikTok and he is still raking thousands of views.
I've seen one of 10 minutes.
Awesome. So I have someone who I follow. His name is Director. Director consistently puts out long form content. Those long form content, he has a ton of engagement. Now you need to ask, what is he doing? Now see, there's something I'm going to say. If your edit is good, all right, even if it's a 9:16, 16:9, if the edit is good, you are going to get engagement. So one of the things that, and of course, I'm going to teach you how to edit. All right, I'm going to teach you editing. So just know that you are going to learn how to edit good. But editing good, there's a whole lot that happens behind the scene in you being able to edit good. And that is storytelling. So let's move. So great stories are relatable. Now, no matter the kind of content you're trying to create, no matter the kind of film you're trying to create, let it be relatable. If it's relatable, your audience will share, your audience will comment, your audience will like. So what we are going to try to do is, we are going to try to demystify our content. What do I mean by demystifying our content? Make it simple. All right. Now, when I say make it simple, simplicity, according to Charlie Chaplin, simplicity is not a simple thing. It takes a level of mastery to be able to simplify things. So it means that you will know what you are doing. You will know how to hook your audience, and we are going to see some structural framework, all right, as we progress in the course. So what are the core pillars? Now we're going to look at 5 things, right? We're going to look at 5 things tonight. This is just like the introduction, right? This is the introduction, us laying the pipeline for the overall course, and this is just the module 1. So the core pillars of narrative. Now, what is narrative? Narrative is how you tell your story. So narrative shows you that there are different points of views. There are how people are going to see it. Now, you who is creating the film, you who is shooting the video, you already have in mind what you feel your audience will take away. Now, if you do it well, 70% of your audience, of your viewers, will take what you intended. If you want them to be entertained, they are going to take it. If you want them to be inspired, they are going to take it. If you want them to be informed, they are going to take it. All right. So if you do it rightly, if you carve out your narrative rightly, your audience will resonate with the narrative. Now, before the camera is ever turned on, the story must stand on three legs. If one is missing, the content usually collapse. Now, what are these three legs? We are going to look at normal content. We're going to look at, for content, we are going to look at retention. Okay? But now we are looking at from the aspect of filmmaking, from the part where you are a cinematographer, where you are creating these videos, where you're capturing these videos either with your camera or your mobile phone. Now, every movie you see, every good movie, all right, you see adopts these pillars. The first one is the protagonist or the who. Okay, now what is the who or who is the who? The who is the person of interest. Okay, now in this case, it is you who is picking up your phone to tell the story, or what you are telling the story, or what story you are telling. All right, the topic, the title. So the audience needs an avatar. The audience needs to look up to somebody. They need to look at someone. Now, in scenarios where there is nobody to look at, they are hearing a voice, you need to paint a picture of someone or something. Now, there's this storyteller. He said, there's this guy called Mark, and Mark might be a ghost. Mark might not be real, but him saying there's this guy called Mark has created a persona, has created an avatar who the entire audience are looking up to. So what is Mark? Who is Mark? That's the who, or the desired. Okay, follow me in a day of in a day of life of a creator who is going to eat. Who is going to eat? Where? You understand? So you're giving them a direction, interest. You're creating what? Interest. So this doesn't have to be a hero. It just needs to be someone with a clear desire. Right? Now, a film, a detective seeking justice. This for film. For content creation, you, the creator, seeking to fix a leaky sink or try a new restaurant. So in this protagonist, you can say, the beginning, right? You can break it in three parts. We have the interest, which is the beginning of anything, right? Then the challenge. Okay? The challenge now, or the conflict. A story without conflict is just a sequence of events. Conflict creates tension. Now, not every kind of content has conflict, but content that has conflict are very interesting. Let's take an example. Let's take an example that, okay, I am creating a video of me doing, like, arranging my workspace. Let's say I'm using my power tools, I'm cutting, and I'm trying to fix something, right? Trying to fix something up. If I start up with let me just give you one hook idea. This is how I broke my saw when trying to do so and so and so. This is how interest. I'm trying to do a home makeover, but now there's a conflict, there's a challenge. You can say, oh, the challenge is I don't even know how to paint. Follow me as I paint my room. I'm setting up everything, and what is the challenge? I don't even know how to paint. All of a sudden, people get interested. I don't know if you guys are following. Are you guys catching the drift?
You.
So, you introducing a challenge, you see, try as much as you can, no matter the content you're creating, to pose a challenge. The moment you pose a challenge, your audience are hooked. How do I go from point A to point B? Right? Now, there are two types of conflict. There's internal conflict, right, and there is external conflict. A story without conflict is just a sequence of events. Conflict creates tension. Now, remember, we talked about that our main aim for using storytelling is to connect with our audience at an emotional level. The moment you bring conflict, all right, between two person of interest, let's say, for instance, a romance movie is not sweet until there is conflict. maybe they fought, maybe there is one ex that is coming out, from somewhere that is posing a challenge, maybe one wicked stepmother, one wicked step uncle, you understand, something that tries to stop, right, the protagonist from doing what he is doing, or from stopping him from achieving what he wants to achieve. All right, so that is our conflict. So there's an internal conflict. What are the internal conflicts? Fear, doubt, moral dilemmas. All right, so I would say I wanted to go to so and so place, but the moment you use but, now we're going to look at something. Let me chip this in. If you want to tell a great story, there are certain words you must avoid, and that word is called and then. So you know how we used to tell stories when we were little. You say, okay, so what happened? Why are you crying? Say, and I come and then the boy now hold me, and then the boy now punch me, and then I now run. How many of you remember when we were little? The way we tell stories, we use and then a lot. That word must spy from your vocabulary. And there is another way. See, are you guys following me? I know this part of the course. Yeah, let's speak one after the other. Like too many persons are speaking at the same time. Is Ugochi here? I didn't even take roll call. Ugochi, are you with us? Okay. Awesome. There are some other persons who are supposed to be here that are not here. I don't know what's going on. All right. So we have internal conflict, fear, doubt, moral dilemmas. You now look for creative ways, okay, to bring in fears, doubt. Will I be able? And you see this in YouTube thumbnail. You see, one of the things that sells a lot, one of the content that sells a lot are content that have conflict. It can be controversy. It can be moral clashes. It can be religious clashes. It can be anything, right? But those things sell a lot. Now, if I say, this is why all Android phones are trash, a lot of persons want to click that video. You get a lot of persons who want to, like, let me see why these things are trash. You get. So we are going to look at so many ways as we progress in the course. External conflict, a villain, a ticking clock, a difficult task. Okay. Now this other conflict, this external conflict, is when you now put it to someone else, maybe someone who is stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve. Every great movie has a villain. Right, so Nigerian language, actor and boss. You understand? So there is the actor and there is the boss. There is the good guy. There is the bad guy. All right. Now the next thing is the transformation or the change. This part now is okay, or you can call it the victory, the success story. So by the end, the protagonist or the audience must be different than where they started watching. So let's say, for instance, you watch a piece of video. Let me outline these three things. How you start and how you end are very important, right? But how you retain your audience, how you keep them watching so that they watch the end is also important. So how you start can be your what? Your hook. How you hook them in. Now there are creative ways to do that. Okay? When we go into when we now start going into the filmmaking part, we'll explore some viral hooks that we can use, right? Trendy hooks that we can use to create that is to hit our first pillar. That's for content creation now, which is our hook. Then the other part, which is retention, how to keep them watching. Okay. Then how you end. Now these are the things that your audience are going to remember. Your start, a word that resonates with them, and the ending. Okay, so put more effort in how you start. Put another effort on how you end. Then you see that middle part. You can find a way to. to mix it up. Okay, so by the end, the protagonist or the audience must be different than they were at the start. They must have learned, changed, or achieved something. So, what did I just watch? How many of you have seen what did I just watch? How many of you have experienced what did I just watch? I just wasted my time. They hooked you. They hooked you in. They made you stay, and at the end, you're like, why am I still here? You understand? Their hook is so good, and there's this thing that happens on TikTok. There's this short reels. I don't know if you guys have seen these short reels. It is from our Asian brothers, right? To be like the way Jesus, the story. I have downloaded that app before to go and watch. That is, you understand? So, so that means you guys are soaked into. It's not only me. I'm not the only one. You can be like, what did I just watch? That means they did this thing well. They did it well. But you want your audience to keep on coming back, right? That's where you be like, oh, I just watched something good. They like, they comment, and they share. From watching your content. All right, yeah, shoot.
Okay, from this storytelling, when it comes to, let me say, reviewing of, especially for in my own case, I want to specialize more on reviewing of things like gadgets, reviewing of things and rest. How does one integrate storyline to it? I have seen actually many persons, but regarding to protagonist and rest,
Awesome.
I believe in this case is different.
Awesome. Yeah, every niche is different, but to sell better, you need story. It's just like marketing, okay? Because when you're reviewing a product, people who do product reviews are marketers, right? No, I want you to follow me. Let's converse. People who review products are kind of marketers, right? Either you want people to see why they should not buy, or why they should buy.
Why they should move from another device?
Yes, you understand. So you must find a way to tell us why you got this product. What are your expectations? Now, expectations are told via story. There's this guy I follow. What's his name? You know Charlie Tech? Do you know Charlie Tech? This is what you're going to do. Follow Charlie Tech. All right. That guy, he's I wouldn't say he's new in the game, but he's very hungry. All right. Yeah, SHALLY, then tech. Yeah, so he merges storytelling, wonderful editing in his product reviews. Now see, you can look for, before you review a product, I would suggest you read up or know the product that you want to review. Okay, so from the strength and weaknesses of that particular product, you can use it to craft a story. Is it resonating? Is it beginning to make sense? And another way to introduce storytelling is, how do I show up? How do I come up? Will I just set my top-down camera, slap up the product and start unboxing? I don't know if you have seen these videos where they use a voiceover that doesn't make sense, that doesn't connect with what they are doing. You can see it. You see it a lot on TikTok, where I'm reviewing. I'm opening a mouse, right? I'm opening, unpacking a mouse, and I'm not saying anything. I'm just using my knife, open it up, and the audio is talking about a man and a woman who are fighting because you understand. That alone is reeling people in. You get they are doing. You understand? So they are different. Or yes, or Dumeje, there's one preacher, in Nigeria. You just look for something to just separate it. Now there are some persons who do ASMR, and I can tell you that if you do proper ASMR, you're going to rake views. I'm telling you, one of my highest viewed videos on YouTube was just an ASMR video of me unboxing my keyboard. Nothing. The only thing I did was maybe some captions, text, and you can do, the what are they calling it? The strength, all right, of the keyboard, the features, and all of that. You get, so there are ways where you can bring in the features of that particular tech. Maybe when you hold the remote or something, things begin to flash and all of that. You get, so you just need to, and trust me, I have videos, right? At the end of this, the video links are clickable, right? I'm going to send you guys this document when we're done. You're going to see 5 videos. So it takes you to YouTube. Some creators I follow, you can go watch, right? Now, I know we're talking about storytelling, right, in filmmaking, but filmmaking encompasses a lot of different niches. Like you just said, you want to be reviewing product, right? So they are different. You're going to love one of the videos, all right? There's this guy I follow. His name is Gus Art. Gus Art will shoot a 3 minutes video. You're going to be watching it. You don't know it's an ad. You don't know that what you just watched is an ad for Samsung.
Those ads.
Yeah, Gus Art. Don't worry. All the links, the people I'm mentioning, you see a link to their videos. All right. You see a link to their videos. So those are some of the ways, right? You would, because when it comes to yours now, you're looking at visual hooks. You're going to look at hooks a lot. What will hook people in? Okay, because when it comes to, I know I'm talking so much about product reviews, okay, because you asked, right? So there are different types of product reviews. There are unboxing, right? There's comparison, and there's just the general product review where you talk about the features and all of that. Okay, can we proceed?
I want to ask you one question.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. How does it affect? Is it okay criticizing technology as in and taking it as an image?
Criticizing technology.
Yeah, I mean technology as in probably when we finish so that we don't debate so much.
Okay, no problem. We'll talk about that. Please remind me. You can note it down. Okay. So the golden rule is make me care. If the audience doesn't care about your character or the outcome, the best camera best camera gear in the world cannot save you. You understand? I've seen, it's just like Snow White. How many of you saw Snow White? The recent Snow White. How many of you saw it?
No, sir. I haven't watched that thing. Oh, the recent one.
The recent one.
I don't watch that thing.
Exactly. My point. Exactly. Why? People could not. I didn't watch it, and I will never watch it. What I went to do is I went to rate it. I was looking for -2. I did not see. You understand? I was looking for minus. I did not see. So I just gave it a 1. But I did not watch it. Why? Because people could not connect. You're supposed to make people care about you. How many of you know Henry Cavill?
No, I can't remember. The one that Superman.
Yeah, he makes you care. You understand? He makes you care. So the moment you make people care about something, they will come back. They will always if you even tell them to stop following me, if you tell them don't follow me anymore, they'll say me. It's not be you go tell me what I go do. I will still follow you. The new Witcher replacement, I stopped watching the Witcher because of that guy doesn't care. You understand?
That guy didn't ask very much.
All right, let's proceed. The next one is visual language. You see, when it comes to visuals, when it comes to movie filmmaking, you have to show, don't tell. What do I mean by show, don't tell? But say, but I need to tell people, I need to talk. It's called storytelling. Storytelling, even when it is audible, even when it is auditory, People need to see where you're going. People need to see what you're doing. You understand? You're telling me something, but that thing you're telling me, I need to be seeing it, because when we are talking, when we are conversing, I am seeing what you're saying around my head. I don't know if you get. Good storytellers paint pictures in the minds of their listeners. You understand? So you want to learn how to use visual hooks, and I'm going to show you. Because when it comes to filmmaking, it's not just to carry your camera, point and shoot. What are you shooting? There are points of interest. There are point of views, right? There are short techniques. Now, we're not going into short techniques. I'm just highlighting how these things tie in storytelling. Okay, so cinematography as storytelling. Camera angle. Low angle makes a subject looks more powerful and dominant. So when you lean your camera point of view to a character, that's why you see anytime a character wants to take off in flight, there's always a low angle. It makes him what? More dominant, more powerful, right? So that's why we use a low angle. Now, a high angle makes a subject look vulnerable and small. You get? So now you can use high angle. There are different types of high angle. When I lie down and I put my camera point of view bird's eye, I am trying to show that I am reachable, vulnerable, open. You don't see me finish, right? See finish. That's what that angle does. So you now know how to use that angle in your storytelling. So you don't need to now begin to tell your audience that, oh, this guy is vulnerable, oh, he's small, oh, he's weak. Let your shot, right, your point of views, your shot style, your camera shooting style tell the story. Okay, so let's look at something else. Lighting. How you light your subject. Now, when we talk about lighting, we're still talking about let the shot do the talking. Yeah, exactly, Jojo. Now, how you light your subject, okay, tells the kind of story you're trying to tell. If we are looking at happy stories, okay, comedy and all of that, it is bright. It has yellow, orange. It has all those vibrant colors. Now, if you look at Marvel movies have a lot of bright scenes. Their characters, their cape, usually very bright. While DC movies are dark, because they want to create mystery, drama, you understand, and all those kind of stuff. They want to create tension, so they use darker tones, right? It's only now that they now change it a little bit. This is our new Superman character. So you need to pay attention to all those kinds of things, like colors. We're going to look at color theory when we proceed into when we move more into the course. Look at colors, how colors tells is a better story. When you look at green, you're talking about greenery, you're talking about progression. There's progression going on, right? Nature, vegetation. When you look at blue, you're talking about a calm, peace, intelligence, right? Blue and purple, intelligence, enlightenment. You get when you look at red can be love, it can be danger. When you look at yellow is happiness and energetic. Yellow and orange. So you need to know all these things, how they tie together. Then you now begin to use them to tell your story. So high key, bright, even lighting suggests safety, comedy, or openness. Low key, high contrast and shadows suggest mystery, danger, or drama. Now, these things put together is what we, using all these things, using colors, using shapes, using film emulation, is what creates cinematography. Cinematography is the blend of what? Light, sound, and storytelling. That's what cinematography is. Say, oh, I am a cinematographer. Most persons are not cinematographers, they're actually videographers. But people want to carry that title, oh, I'm a cinematographer. Why? Because it sounds cool. There's a whole lot of work in cinematography. You will have to understand set design. right? Understand set design, understand framing, understand so many things that now ultimately put together. You need to understand sound, okay? Sound design, that's what makes you a cinematographer, okay? Let's move to composition. What is composition? Now we are going to go deeper into all these things, right? When we go into the editing side of things, right? The filmmaking, when we are shooting videos, and the editing side of things, that's when we'll go into composition. Where you place objects in frame guides the eye. Using negative space, empty space. Now remember I said try as much as you can to go and watch that introduction to the beginner's guide to graphic designing. It is going to help you to understand negative space. Okay, what is negative space? Negative space are empty spaces. You see this design now. What is holding this design together? Why this design is good is because they are empty spaces. Okay, they are empty spaces. So you must know where to put a particular subject. Now, if you look at my camera now, if you look at how I am seated, I'm not seated directly in the middle. I'm seated to the left, all right? You're going to see a grid. Okay, when we go into composition and framing, right, you're going to see in your camera, you see a grid line. Now, if you are, see, in this class, go to your camera and make sure you toggle your grid lines. Your grid lines need to be on. What are grid lines? Grid lines are there are 4 lines, right? There is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, when we go into that, I'm going to show you what those things are so that you understand them better. But I'm just telling you that you don't just pick up your camera and if it's not a short form 9x16, right? 9x16, you can just stay in the middle because you don't have much spaces, right? But a 16x9, right, long form YouTube, you're showing a lot of frame. You must know where to put what in frame, what to be in frame. Now, let me just talk about it. A frame is broken into 3 parts, right? We have the foreground, we have the midground, and we have the background. Now I'm going to repeat some of all these things when we go into the course. You're going to see them again and again, but I'm just mentioning them. The foreground is, for example, you look at this, you see it's blurred out. If you're looking at my screen, you see it's blurred out. That is the foreground. So foreground means things that are closer to the lens. So this is my foreground. Not everything should be in your foreground. Okay? And if you're placing anything in your foreground, if it's not a point of interest, it should be blurred out. This is not my point of interest, so it's blurred out. But I'm using this in a way to tell a story. It shows you that I'm somewhere, maybe in a garden, maybe where there are flowers. You understand? So it helps in telling my story. I can decide to say, okay, let me set my camera here and let me stack books. So the moment I stack books and I'm standing and I'm holding another book, it gives you the sense of, oh, this guy is intelligent. Oh, this guy's in a library. But those books are either in the foreground or the background. So the midground now, I am in the midground in this shot. I am the person of interest. This is where this is my point of interest. My point of interest is usually in frame. I'm in the frame. I'm in the shot. You understand? So the moment this guy becomes in shot, I'm no longer in frame. This becomes in focus. I am now what? In the background. Are you following? Let me see if I can pull this up here so that it can be in the recording. Because for now, you guys are the only ones that are seeing it. Okay, just give me a second. I want to do 2-way recording, right? A recording that captures the entire screen for Telegram and another recording that just captures this because I'm using an ultra-wide monitor. Now, most persons will not be able to consume content from the ultra-wide because it's 21:9 ratio. We'll have to use 16:9. So that's why I am using this, right? So just give me a second. Let me get the recording started here on on Telegram. I was supposed to do that earlier. Please forgive me. Let's do model. Model 1. All right, so we have started. So this is now in focus. Autofocus have, okay, this is in focus now. This is out of focus. So if I make this in focus, I am now the background character. I'm now in the background. I'm not important anymore. The point of interest is now this, right? So I am no more in the mid ground, all right? If another thing is not in focus. That thing that is not in focus will now have its own foreground. So what is my background in this shot? My background is the things that are behind me, that are blurred out, right? You see the light, you see the plants in the background, the other stuffs there. To do a good shot, you must know how to balance your foreground, your midground, and your background. The things in your background should not compete with you in the midground, since you are the point of interest. They need to be blurred out a little bit. When we now go into shooting, creating films, and videography, the videography part of it, I will show you how to, create these points of interest, shallow depth of field, whatever you want to call it. Is that okay? Are we good?
Yeah, boss. Yeah, boss.
Awesome. So let's just look at this example. Imagine a shot of a man with a neutral face. He's not crying, he's not smiling, he's just neutral. If you cut next to a bowl of soup, the audience will think he is hungry. If you cut next to a coffin, the audience will think he is sad. Lesson: meaning is created in edit, not just the shot. Does that make sense? So I can take a random video and just slap something else. It's just like I'm looking towards this place. In the shot, I might not be looking at anything. The moment I bring maybe a bowl of soup and I put there and I just take a B-roll of a bowl of soup, you will think I'm looking to a bowl of soup. You understand? So sometimes you can tell your story in the editing. Do you understand? In your editing, not just in your filming. Is that okay? Do I have any questions so far? Any questions so far? All right. Let's move to... Someone had a question? Okay, I guess not. So let's move to structural framework.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, go on.
My cut, the way I cut my video, I believe is also related to visual.
Okay.
The way let me see, I think you mentioned about cutting videos with I believe it's part of the visual stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Now, when we start going into filmmaking proper, we are going to be looking at types of cuts. Okay, we're going to be looking at types of cuts and how these cuts play a part in telling story, in our storytelling. Okay, we're going to look at that. Now, structural framework. Structure provides the roadmap for your story. It must have structure. The classic 3-act structure for cinema is camera angle. I think I just made a mistake. Camera angle is not supposed to be there, right? I will edit it. 1 is the act, the setup. Second one is the confrontation. 2 is the resolution. So, introduce the normal world. The inciting incident happens. Something disrupts the status quo. Let's say, for instance, you're looking at a movie. You see a movie of, a green land. You understand? Butterflies are flying. You get, things are just moving sweetly. They are playing wonderful soundtrack. All of a sudden, a meteor strikes, boom, everything gets destroyed. You understand? It'd be like, remember what we talked about, that you create conflict. So it's another way to create conflict. Okay? So now, the character now tries to fix the problem. So here now, we now have a challenge to fix. It's just like how we, when we were little, we used to watch this, we used to call them Chinese films, where a master and his student will just be training. Next thing you hear, bang, 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 bang. Fushi from another, what are they calling it, another academy will just step in and challenge all the students. And now, when he's challenging all the students, one of the students that is very good is somewhere either sleeping or just lounging or eating or something. And this Fushi from that academy will come, beat up his master, beat everybody. You get, and all of a sudden, somebody will not escape and go and tell one of their main leader. His name is Tompo. Tompo will not come. Now say, what happened? Tompo, you understand? Tompo will not revenge mission, or the Tompo will not go and train. You get, all these things are trying to do the same three things that we talked about: the setup, the confrontation, the resolution. Why do we care? This is what we use to build care, interest. How many of you have seen this concept where they do, oh, that's me. I hope you're wondering how I got into this scenario. Then it now goes to play back the things that happened until that time. Now, before that voiceover kind of content, we were seeing all those things happen in movies, where, people are just walking on the street, and next thing, a car just flew and scratch everywhere. Then they now rewind, now reverses back, now shows you what really happened before they got to that point. You understand? So then they now show you what now happened. Did they survive? What happened? Did they fix the problem? You get, that is now the resolution or the climax. The problem is resolved, success or failure, and a new normal is now established. Okay? The retention structure, this one now is our most important. This is what we want to focus on, because majority of us will post on social media. I know YouTube can be called social media too in a way, but most of us will post on TikTok, IG, and Facebook, and every other platform. Okay, so what we want to look at is the hook. Your first 3 seconds or first 5 seconds. Modern content requires a modified structure to combat short attention span. This is what we are fighting. This is the struggle. The struggle is that people are no more interested. So you need to find ways to get people interested in your content. Okay? Some people, they use subtle manipulation tactics. They use rage bait, so many things to just get people interested. Sometimes they use, I know a guy who, when he sits down on his decks, all right, to do talking head videos, there will be something weird. Something so weird. He's going to put it in a position where the moment you scroll and you see that video, you will see it. I believe we are all adults here. This guy used to put a pack of condom on his decks. So the moment you scroll, you will stop. Now, you've seen some of this visual hook where someone is going to put something like this. Now, I'm decorating. Like, if you see, I'm actually decorating for Christmas. So you're going to see, like, the whole place is scattered. I've been working since morning. So someone might use something like this and put his microphone here, and he's talking on the mic. He has created a visual hook. You get, some it will be how you flash in, how you fly in into the shot, how the shot comes in, and it'll be like, whoa, what just happened? You get, create hook. Some it will be what you said. You get, so there are different types of hooks that you can explore. There are visual hooks, there are audio hooks, there are text hooks, there are metaphor hooks, so many types of hooks. All right. Visually or verbal disrupt. Visually, okay, the hook visually or verbally disrupt the scroll. State the promise of the video immediately. Don't be, see, personally, because of I'm a creator, the moment you tell me to stay, that at the end of the video you are going to tell me I've scroll pass, I don't know if it's just me. That's because I'm a creator. You get? That's because I'm a creator. Don't be telling me at the end of, be creative, find something else. You understand? Find something else to tell me at the end of the video. That's why you see some persons, they bring the finished work. They show you the finished work first. They now show you how they now made the finished work. So me now, I'm not interested. So how did you now do this? You get? So you must look for ways to create your hook to disrupt the scroll. You get? The setup, the why. Quickly explain the context. Quickly. People don't have chill anymore. People don't have chill anymore. You can just, this is why you are broke. And we're like, one, if somebody who is rich listens to that, this is why you are broke. We're like, oh, why people broke? But he knows that I'm not broke. But he will not be feeling somehow, feeling some type of way. He will want to watch. You get? And you make sure that your next point carries value. My friend director, he uses this a lot. He uses it a lot. You can now start with a question. Why is everybody in Lagos mad? I don't know if you have read this book. You can start with a crazy statement. Say, I think I've forgotten the name of the book. Almost everybody in Lagos is mad. Something like that. You now begin to read the book. You now find out that there are no mad men inside. You'll be looking for the mad people. You understand? Something like that. You get? So quickly explain the context, the payoff, the value, deliver the information, the joke, or the review. Find a way to deliver it. Find a way to deliver it. Do not bore people. Okay? The CTA, call to action. Ask for engagement after value is delivered. This is one part that I always forget to do. I'm a corporate. I always forget to tell people to like, to follow, to share my content. But now I have repented. Okay, there's a new version of the Frost King that I'm unpacking, that I'm unleashing. I just ordered it from Temu. I just ordered a new version of myself from Temu that I'll be unpacking. Now, you may not outrightly tell people to engage on your video. You may not outrightly tell them, please like, don't beg people. The moment you start begging people, people are egotistic, right? Especially on social media. Everybody on social media is a king, is a boss. Why should I like your video? Why are you telling me to like it? If I find it helpful, I will like it, right? But there is another way you tell people to like your video without telling them to like your video. Okay, there's this guy, his name is Sam Wright. Sam Wright will tell you, if you like, if you like, comment, if you like, share. I don't tell you. He knows what he just gave is valuable. So him telling you, if you like, is reverse psychology. I know somebody who does this thing a lot. I think somebody's video is on. Royal, your video feed is on. I know somebody who does this a lot. Kegan, exactly. Exactly. Mr. Royal, your video feed is on. So please help me. Yeah, thank you very much. So Kegan does this a lot. He tells you that he doesn't care. He might not care, but you want to prove a point. You now, because of you have ego, you want to prove a point that why are you telling me I should stop following you? The more he tells people not to gift him, the more they send him gifts. Not that he needs it, because genuinely he doesn't. We are the ones that used to benefit from all those gifts that you people used to give to him. He would just come on my stream and he would give me, come on another creator and give them, just like, you understand, just like that. That's how he does it. Okay, so you need to find, now, personally, I don't teach people to manipulate people because I have a moral standard. That's why I don't do rage baiting. I try as much as I can to avoid rage baiting. I try to build my audience organically, right? It's slow, but at the end you're going to enjoy it. Why? You're going to have like a loyal fan base. You're going to have a loyal following. So people are following you because of who you are. Now, I've gotten to this point. I want to tell you guys something. See, you don't need to change who you are. You only need to improve who you are. All right. You can improve how you speak. The moment you say you want to change how you speak, people will know that you are forming. People will know that you're trying to create accent. That's why you see me. Sometimes I speak with an accent. It's not intentional. It's because of I interact with. In fact, every single day of my life, I don't interact with Nigerians. Every single day. So sometimes there's something called the mirroring effect. Have you seen a baby and you do like this, right? You begin to do like this. The baby will look at you, and they want to mirror what you're doing. You understand? So there's this mirroring effect that happens when you're talking to someone. If you speak to that person over time, how you speak will begin to change, right? It will begin. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. So, but one thing you must try to do is you must try to show people that authentic side. That's why I go talk reach one place, I go disrupt the flow. And it's one of the ways to keep people engaged. If people see, there's this lady I used to follow, she just comes and she speaks very slow English and she's just talking. I get tired. Like, oh, beg. You don't want people to get tired, right? And it's the same thing. If you notice how I speak, it's one of the things I learned in public speaking. Okay, if you notice how I speak, there are sometimes I'll be very fast. I'll be like, prrrr. Then I'll now slow down. I'll count my words, right? I'll give occasional pauses, right? Even when you're not trying to remember, you now act like as though you're trying to remember. It shows, like, even though that content is scripted, even though say you script, even though say you write down for book, everything we talk, you write down for book. Because of you're not just pouring it out, right? You're pausing. You're breathing like, how do I say this? Your audience are following you. Why? Because you are authentic, you're human. You're not a robot, except your style of content is that you're a robot. You guys understand what I just said? Right? So what you must try to do is improve on the things that you have. Now, most persons will tell you that, the reasons why they are not comfortable with showing themselves on camera is because they are not beautiful. See, let me tell you something. Both the negative and the positive are energies. Like me. I know I'm not cute. I know I'm not fine. I used to tell people that one of the greatest bullies I ever had was my dad. And I knew what he was doing was to make me strong. Right? What he was actually doing was to make me strong. So he would take my facial features, right? I have this gap teeth. In fact, almost everybody in my family has like a gap teeth. Maybe every 1 in 4 persons in my family, in the family tree, will have it. So my dad would just look at one facial feature and he would give me one. See, you can use that as your entry point. There's a guy I know who is a tailor. He's also a content creator. That is his selling point. That is his selling point. His teeth, his dentition is his selling point. His name is Needle Master. You can go and check him out. Needle Master, that's his name on TikTok and IG. He's using what people would insult him with, what people will roast him with as an entry point to break into, you understand, the numbers, and it works. So you can take that part that is not so good. You have a speech impediment or something. You can take it, capitalize on it, and boom. And people will be like, I just like this guy. Why? Because he's authentic. He's real. He has H factor. See, whether you have H, you have F, you have Q, you have B, you have S, you have whatever factor, you can weaponize it. You can look for a way to use it for your good. Is that okay? Let's proceed. We have 30 minutes so that we can take questions. So the next thing is pacing and rhythm. What is pacing and rhythm? Now, I said every story unfolds in a pacing, right? It's either fast or slow. Okay? It's either fast or slow. Now, pacing and rhythm, the reading part, this thing, see, your ability to know the rules and break the rules is what makes you creative. Okay? All these rules, all these principles, all these things that we are saying, for you to be creative, you will not look for a way to disrupt it, to break it. Is that okay? To cause a break. You understand? We say, oh, slow pacing, right? It's just for example, I don't know if you guys have seen this trend where there's these people who I know Royal will know these people, roadmen, man them. All right, this Mandan anthem where they dress all thuggish and they now start singing nursery rhymes. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are in gangster, right? It disrupts the normal flow, right? It's like you're trying to shoot a gym video. Gym video requires fast pacing. It requires energy. It requires high, octane kind of sound. And next thing, you are using Beethoven. You understand? So you find a way to disrupt the nominal flow. That is creativity. Okay, that is creativity. So pacing is the heartbeat of your film. It dictates how the audience feels the time passing. Now, it's not just for movies alone. I talked about how you speak. I used to do spoken words. Okay, I used to do spoken words and poetry. So it's one of the techniques. Even rap. You see, rap is rhymes and rhythm, right? Or you call it I've forgotten the acronym that they use, right? So in rap now, different style of rap. Let's say, for example, Kendrick Lamar. He has his way with words. He has, the way he speaks. Eminem, he's known for his tongue twisting, fast delivery, and he will now start breaking down. What's this guy's name? This new guy on the block that is making everybody go crazy. NF, the same thing. So it's not just how the movie unfolds. So the movie is like, it moves fast, becomes slow, fast and slow. You understand? Just like that. The same thing with you delivering your speech. The same thing with doing your story and all of that. So it's the lifeblood. It's how you are able to control it. All right? How you're able to control it creates something called emotional resonance. So there's how you'll be speaking. I don't know if you guys have listened to rap music or spoken word poetry where it begins to hit your heart. Like you are following, you're connected. Right? That means the person did a thorough job. Fast cutting creates energy, chaos, excitement, or anxiety. Common in action scenes or high energy vlogs, right? Long takes create immersion, tension, or realism. Common in dramas or serious documentaries. Now, when we move into the filming aspect, I want us to start showing you some principles and some rules, right? Why, especially when you're editing. Now, for someone like for someone like that who wants to create, packaging, product reviews, and all of that, all the kind of content. Now, it's not just for that kind of video. No frame should last more than 3 seconds or 4, except you are trying to drive an emotional connection. And there is a way to do it. What is a way to drive emotional connection? Is to now slowly zoom in or zoom out. When you're slowly zooming in, there should be emotion, right? Your audience are now trying to create a rapport with the character. So you can leave that shot for more than 3 seconds, more than 3 to 4 seconds, right? But when you are not trying to connect, you're not trying to create an emotional resonance, you have to cut every 3 to 4 seconds. Something must be happening. So either you're changing, if you watch movies, you're going to see this play out. Either you're changing, right, the point of views, something is happening, or there is a text, or there is something that is happening, right? It will help create retention. It will keep your audience engaged with the video, right? Because we want them to what? We can hook them in, keep them, hold them. So reel them in, keep them hold, because we want them to see what we are going to do at the end. Right? We want them to see what we're going to do at the end. All right. So that's just that. Then there's the South Park rule. The South Park rule, I got this particular rule from one of the content I was watching. You're going to see a particular video. The creators of this South Park, they said they gave a particular principle, which is when outlining scenes, connect them with therefore or but. Right? Therefore or but. Therefore is a translation word, right? And you can do this virtually. Right? So when you tell somebody, either you get this or this, don't do and then. Remember, we talked about it. And then. And some persons edit that way. I open the I just remember the crazy content style from this family. I've forgotten their name. They are a weird family where they will just, what they are saying doesn't make sense. All what they are saying doesn't make sense at all. You'll be like, film the yam. The daughter will repeat, film the yam. Say, open the pot. Go to school. I just remembered it, so it's crazy. Why I remembered it is because the way some people edit is like that. You have your videos and you're trying to tell a story. You're cutting. Yeah, the way you cut, there's no connection. Even when you're doing your jump cutting is a style of cut where you used to translate over time. It's used to create urgency. So if I'm opening the package, right, and I'm doing jump cut, when I open the package, I cut to when I'm peeling off. I cut to when I am doing something else. So some persons, the way they cut, like, it's sluggish. You understand? You're trying to tell the person, so what now happened now? See, and I come and carry this thing, and I come and move it from here to this point. No, you can cut from this, connect it with something. Maybe you show another angle. As I'm moving this angle is from this side. I'm pointing to another angle. I'm dropping this and creating another angle. This is me creating you understand? Therefore, this is coming from this way, but there is this. This one isn't, but there is this. But there is, you understand? So that's what you need to use. You get? Are you guys following? Are you following?
I want to add, okay, in the case you are doing some form of teaching people how to this or an example, how to download this, how to download that. How does the piece have to be? Is there a name I have to follow?
Awesome. Now, normally, when I'm creating my courses, okay, when I'm creating courses and I am showing my screen, I record in two parts. I'm recording my screen and I'm recording with my camera. The reason why I'm not just recording my screen and talking and telling them this is how you go to this part to download, I'll stop that pattern. Since my camera is still rolling, I can switch to me talking. Say, you understand, to a point where I am now seated, scrolling, showing my workstation. I don't know if you get. So it breaks the pattern, but it's still continuing with, what they can still see the site. They can still see what I'm showing them. So I can now maybe turn to the camera, say something else, then we jump back to the screen again. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay. I have a question.
All right, sir.
Talking about this flow states. That is, I have been making some videos, and I discovered something that
Okay.
when I initially start, I get a bit tensed. Then somehow I get into this flow state where everything just is buttery smooth. I can drop my lines, I can talk everything.
Yeah.
Then at the end of it is as if the flow state eases off and my mood, my tone now drops. So if you watch the video, you notice that the mood is kind of changing and my tone is kind of changing. Sometimes it's kind of lively, then towards the end I get as if I'm a bit depressed kind of mood. How do I kind of keep up with that normal
Okay.
flow state that I
Now,
recover from?
I know this one is off topic, right? I know this one is off topic, but one of the ways you can help yourself to continually be in flow state is to create that environment. First is when you notice that you have entered the flow state, even when you keep on making mistakes, film everything. See, normally my daily routine used to be wake up, do my prayer and everything, then coffee. You see, caffeine, I don't joke with caffeine. I don't joke with coffee. Oh Lord God. The reason why I don't joke with coffee, and there are certain sounds, right? There are certain sounds that elevate my heart. When you are shooting, do you play music?
No, I don't.
You don't. Now, this is what I want you to do. Try to break your pattern, right? When I'm shooting videos, I'm going to show you different ways to create content, okay? It depends on the kind of content you're creating. When I'm shooting a video where I don't need my particular dialogue to be in there, I am blasting either Enya, Coldplay. See, I have a particular playlist that if somebody cheats me now and I need to get something done, I am feeling bad, but I need to enter that creative flow state as quickly as possible, I just go to that playlist. As I'm jamming it, I just need to listen to it. Take that song. See, music does it, right? Play the song, high sound, my camera is there, and I'm on. I'm good. At that point, I'm not bothered about if I'm getting it right or wrong. I'm just shooting. Then if it reaches where I need to speak, what I do is I do 3 parts for my recording. 1, highly energetic. I take my line, right? Highly energetic. Oh, pacing is the heart of your film. No, just play with it. Pacing is the heart of your film. It dedicates how the audience, just do that. Then you do another part where is you're cool and calm. Pacing is the art of. Then you do another part that you're just so mellow. Then you decide which you want to. You see, one of the things I will tell you, don't just set up your camera and shoot and say, oh, you're done. I used to have, for a 1-minute video, I used to shoot like 32 different clips. Extraordinary. In fact, some of the videos I'm posting now are actually old videos I did not use in the main shot. Some parts they call it cutaways. I see. It is better to shoot excess, have a lot of video and have a lot of audio to make up for when they call it rhythm meter, when your rhythm is falling off. In that flow state, you already use it to create a lot, batch create your shooting. Even the one that doesn't make sense in the shot, you shoot it. So you keep on repeating, some parts, different position, different places in your house with that flow state. It will now help you to make up for when the rhythm is low. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, very helpful. Thank you.
Awesome, you're welcome. Now, sound design. This is the last thing we will look at. Then we will now start taking questions. Okay. Sound design. Sound design is called the invisible narrator. George Lucas famously said, sound is 50% of the movie experience, and that's true. Sound Very, very important. I don't know if you guys have watched what is this guy's this amazing actor. It's Charlie Chaplin, yes. Charlie Chaplin. Wonderful actor. Took the world by storm using silence. You see, when we talk about sound, even the absence of it is still sound design. And we'll go into it, we'll go into sound design, right? Even the absence of a sound can be used to tell a story. Let's say, for instance, if you want to create a vacuum, right? You want to create a vacuum in separation. Let's say there's a glass, right? And I'm hitting the door. I'm shouting. You can't hear it. What has it created? It has created an experience, right? It has helped me in telling my story. This guy is in a vacuum. Oh, he's in danger. Oh, we can't hear him. Somebody help. He needs help. You understand? That's what it has created. So you must know how to use music. You must know how to use silence. You must know how to use effects. All right. When we're going to sound design properly, there are other aspects to this. It's not just this one. Okay. So music dictates the emotional baseline. A chase scene with circus music is a comedy. But same scene with a deep drums is a thriller. You understand? So music can change the whole feeling. All right. It can change the whole feeling of your shot, what you're trying to create. Silence. Don't underestimate the power of cutting the sound. It draws the audience in and emphasizes the next sound they hear. So you see where we use risers, cinematic risers. And see, most of these things we are mentioning, we are going to do them. Okay. So this is the boring part. And the boring part is very, very interesting. It's very, very important you understand the boring part. Because it's from this theoretical aspect you understand when to use risers, what types of risers to use, when to introduce risers in your shot when you're doing your sound design. So risers and all those sound effects I used to create tension. I use for translation and what? And motion. So translation is also transition. So transitioning, motion, tension, all right, attention. That's when you use all these things. So you can use silence where everything does cut short and fall into blackness. You cut to black or you fade to black. Nothing is happening. Then all of a sudden, a music is fading in, right? It's coming in and another shot is coming in. You understand? So you must learn how to use all these things. So it draws the audience in and emphasize the next sound they are going to hear. So Foley and SFX. SFX are sound effects that try to simulate real world, experience. Let's say if I'm tapping on the table, you're going to hear a sound. If I'm knocking, you're going to hear a sound. Now, 99% of the sound you hear in movies are fake. They were added. For instance, lightning and thunder or rain. Rain is simulated with frying oil. You know when you're frying something, that sound that it makes, that's how they get rain for sound. Most persons don't know. They use aluminium foils and maybe a stick to simulate lightning and thunder. That's how they simulate it. You understand? So when it comes to sound effects, don't worry guys, you don't need to crack your head. I got you covered. I have an extensive library for sound effects, but all I'm just going to do is to teach you when to use what. All right, for instance, now if I'm moving my head, if a cartoon character moves his head, you're going to hear a sound. That sound is called a swoosh or a whoosh. So yeah, whoosh, whoosh. You understand? So that whoosh is now used for motion. You get? So if something is, let's say I'm throwing something, I throw something, there's going to be a sound to give an emotional experience, right, to the audience. When you put a whoosh sound or a sound that depicts motion, like throwing sound, that's it. The audience are reeled in. Footsteps, wind, clinking of a glass, ground the story in reality and make the environment feel real. So it's an environmental simulation. You're trying to create a real world experience of the environment. They are interacting with the environment. Let's say curtain is moving. You want to put a sound to emulate that, oh, the wind is moving and all of that. So 99% of the sound you hear in movies are actually fake. So we have come to the end of tonight's class. This is not the end of the total module of module 1, right? But what we have here are additional resources. Okay, if you click on them, they are clickable. If you click on it, it will take you to a video on YouTube. Watch the video. Some of them are long. Do you know why you need to watch the video? Because before the next class, which is Saturday, you are going to watch video 1, video 2. Believe me, I've watched all these videos. So for video 1, you're going to write what you learned, what you understood, and what you can now start implementing from it. For video 1, video 2, video 3, video 4, and 5. Failure to, in fact, let's discuss. If you don't meet up, see, now I understand we are very busy people. DB of Tech is a busy person, he's a family man, Fugotic is busy. Like, I understand that majority of us, we are busy people. But I will implore you to follow this part of it. Right. Following this part of it and engaging is what makes the entire class interesting. You get? So if you can't meet up with a given assignment, try to reach out. Send a message, say, oh, I'm running late with my assignment. It doesn't mean you will not do it, though. You must do it. You must do it, right? But follow up with, oh, I'm a little bit tied up, I will not be able to meet the deadline, right? Can you give me a time buffer? And of course, I will do that. But I want us to set, what are we going to do now? Punishment. How do we punish somebody who defaults? Who doesn't? What is the default now? One Bitcoin. Okay, look at this man. No, it will not be to me. All right. I want it to be for every single member. You buy everybody shawarma. You send them shawarma money.
That could be very severe. Without consequences, human can remain disciplined.
I'm telling you. Oh, I love. Without consequences, you will not remain disciplined. Without consequences, it's just like now we are having section. We are having class now. 3 persons are not in class. There has to be consequence. You understand? There has to be consequence, right? So maybe we'll brainstorm. We think we'll all agree, because there has to be something that we'll all agree on, right? We'll all agree. And let me tell you guys something. How many of us here have light setup? How many of us have light setup? Like, you have a lighting setup. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to, at the end of, when we are rounding up this class, I am going to look for somebody, because I know I was on the lookout for a few persons who, when they were paying for this course, they actually used their last cash, right? And some of the persons who I know personally that did so are not here, right? But what I'm going to do is,
I did so. Why you talk about
look at.
I did so.
You can't tell me that you did so. No. You people are disqualified.
No sound, right back.
You people are disqualified, right? So I'm going to support their content creation, right? I'm going to support their content creation. Tell them that, oh, I see you. Understand? We see you. I've not done this. I don't think I've done this before in any of my class, but I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, it's going to be a fun thing to do, that people come in, and at the end, it's not just that they are receiving a certificate or completion of the program, right, which everyone is going to have, right, but something tangible, like, even if it's not everybody, somebody, and maybe as I progress in the whole boot camp of everything, because it's going to be repeated, the circle is going to repeat, right? Can I get to a point where we buy, I'm learning from my bosses, where we buy iPhones for people, we buy, and all of that. We'll get to that point. Okay, so questions. Questions? Do you have any questions so far?
First,
Yeah.
for my content,
Okay.
I actually decided to make different kind of content, although this based on tech actually.
Okay.
You know, if you notice my name, you see it's DBA
Of
of tech.
tech. Yeah.
And, and the concept for that is that I want to create a persona. There's this video you did on TikTok where it's a cowboy stuff where one is saying, "What's your rate?"
Yes.
So what's your tell me your rate now? Now I wanted I want to do a concept where I converse with my other personality.
Awesome.
Personality is the oracle, is the DBA itself.
Mm.
Now
I'm liking it.
I'm the modern guy. I'm the modern, Gen Z guy.
Mm-hmm.
GBS, very old,
Ancient
wise
wisdom.
wisdom. Yes, someone you consult. So I want my stuff to be very cinematic because
Mm.
I want to make it like a film.
Mm.
Basic questions like how does the computer work, and the oracle can talk as in something like educative and entertaining concepts.
I'm playing it in my head. It's going to be epic. Trust
So
me.
it's even like people have like a makeup where the oracle will have a costume with
Yeah.
babalawo kind of stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But before I started that, I documented or I recorded all my videos while I was doing the studio. But the problem now I don't really know the approach I'm going to use for editing those videos because they are very, very long. I also do not want to lose, kind of, I don't know how to put it, but I want to achieve long form video. But then again, I don't want to bore my audience with repetitive acts while I was drilling. So I've not really done anything like that before. I don't know how to go about editing those part of videos where I'm painting, I'm building the shelves, I'm putting the filter panels, installing the AC units. So I don't want to bore my viewers. So what approach do you think in terms of the storytelling? How does it apply to this concept?
Amazing. Now, this part you just mentioned now, where you're setting up the studio, all right, may not have much storytelling
Okay.
when it comes to the visuals. So what I'm going to talk about the DBA of tech side, right? I'm just talking about this one now. There are videos where you can create a playlist, a separate playlist for your setup, where you are setting up. How to sell it now? There's a particular video I did when I was doing this stuff. I don't know if you've seen it.
Playback panel, yes.
Yeah. What will make you shine is your editing, sound design. Then you can now do voiceovers.
Okay.
So what do I mean by your editing? You can use, all those cuts where person is flying in, the Creed kind of edit.
Okay.
Yeah. Then another way is to edit those videos with your sound design. So you're cutting, you're using the beats. Now, don't worry. Most of these things I'm saying might be sounding, kind of outlandish. But when we go into editing, I'm going to show you how I edit, how I tackle different types of videos. So if I'm going to do a video like this and I want to make it interesting in telling story, I'm going to look for a good background music. And it's not just one. I can use 2 or 3. So I can use one that falls in maybe where I'm doing something and the extension. Right? I don't know if you capture where you make mistakes.
It was just a continuous rolling, so probably mistakes and everything is there.
Awesome. So that is what you're going to do. You're going to sit down, scour through the footage, and cut them. Begin to cut the interesting parts. Right? The part where you took time. Like that video I did, I spent roughly 6 hours working. But the video, I summed it up in how many minutes? 3 minutes. So that means I had to do a lot of cutting off. You get? So it is the interesting things. Let's say you're sewing something. You don't need to stay with We don't need to stay with you until you saw the full, you get the full wood or something. So we want to see you start. We want to see you pick up, prepare your this thing, your cutting, right? Then when you want to start cutting, did you use different angles, different camera angles?
Yeah, I tried using about 2, 3 angles.
Awesome. So that's what you will do. That's another way to tell your story. Now you can decide to use you can decide to use AI. Find a script, find something interesting, and just be talking in the background. Right?
For
Fi-
long form content, the content can work for long form, like getting it up to like 30 minutes.
yes, getting it. Yes, even getting it up to 30 minutes. You can do small of those edits. You understand? Small of those jump cut edits and all of that. See, one thing I will tell you is next time when you are doing when you are shooting yourself, filming yourself, maybe upgrading your workspace, try to add fun to it. Maybe time where you can just pause, your wife brings you water, you drink, all those things.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So me, I'm beginning to learn some of these things now. I wasn't implementing them. I think I implemented it in my other video where my wife helped me carry
That my
the
wife now
TV.
bottle water from you. She did,
You understand? So some of all those, maybe your baby girl will just run into the shot and you will give her the saw to just play with it, or you give her one of the tools to just help, and you guys will just, so all those little things will just add those ones. Now you don't need to cut any, you will leave it to play out. If it happens in 1 or 2 minutes, you're not cutting, you're not making it fast, you understand, you leave it to play out, so it makes up for the time. You get? Then you can now take shots of maybe when you are going to buy something outside, because if everything is done inside, it will get boring. I found out that when I checked my YouTube, I found out that at a particular point, the interest dropped. You get? It was just dropping off. So you must learn to switch. Okay, we have seen the house. How did you buy that thing? You understand? Which shop did you get? Even when you don't have that full shot, you can use B-rolls. This is where B-rolls come. You can get a B-roll of somebody going to the market or something, and just add. B-rolls will help you. For those who don't know what B-rolls are secondary footage you use in telling your story. Let's say I'm talking about this microphone, this particular mic. I cannot bring another video that they have shot somewhere about this mic. While my voiceover is still going on, they are now seeing different shots of this mic, or somebody taking the microphone, scanning it in the cache and all of that. So those are called B-rolls. So you can use B-rolls, you can use voiceover, and your editing. That's what will help you for that particular kind of content for YouTube. Then this, the whole DBR concept is huge. Right? It's very, very huge. I was just playing it in my head. Now, your first video, you might not get it right. So don't wait to get it perfect first before you execute. What I would say is, one thing that will help you execute it right is you must know how to do shot composition. Because when it comes to body doubling, cloning, you want to have a character. Because it's not just, there are two styles to do this, where you're talking. I don't know if you've seen my video about imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I saw that video. That video was very amazing, man.
Yeah, so something like that, you must now know shot composition, and I'm going to teach you. Right, I'm going to teach you shot composition, how to create clones, how to create interactive clones. Right, because when you see most persons, when they do body doubling, cloning, their clones are not interactive. Right, it doesn't look real.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you now. There are two things involved. There's the editing skill and there's the shooting skill. Yet there's the editing side of it and there's the shooting part of it. The shooting part of it makes the editing easy. Okay, so we are going to look at it. Then for have you shot any video for this particular concept?
For the Oracle concept.
Yeah, not yet. Okay,
Just talking head.
just talking head. okay, this is what's going to happen, right? Now, for all of you, if you have your own style of content you want to create, please tell me. Okay. For you now, we already have a separate arrangement, right? So in that separate arrangement now, I will give you videos. I'll give you tips. There's this guy called Sheed. All right. That's the kind of, but he's not like an oracle, but he has another character that comes to,
Hey, Sheen,
yes.
my PC is not working.
Yes. So awesome. So something like that, but you cannot try to make it more cinematic, more dramatic.
Exactly.
You get more dramatic. So there's another creator. I'm going to send you his videos to watch. Right. There's another creator. I'll send you his videos to watch also. So
The
you're
black
good.
guy.
You said
Is it a black guy?
he's a black guy. Yeah.
Muscular, does power and
Yes. I
power.
I love that guy's content.
That kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
think he's an inspiration for that concept, though. I just,
Really,
you know,
that guy is
yes.
good. When you were mentioning, it was just him that was coming to mind. That guy is good. So you have to get proper sound design. Like your mic. Well, you have a good setup. I don't know if you have you soundproof. Have you soundproof your environment?
Yeah, I've tried. I've tried to the best I can, but I think I have the big sample cutting, a big rug on the floor, and
Okay.
acoustic stuff.
Awesome.
I bought this old MTG 3 shotgun mic.
Ah, I thought this was TikTok. I wanted to do that my. Awesome. That's good. So, how good is your audio game? Do you know how to edit audios well to get rich sound?
Well, I haven't really done any audio editing, just the inputs. I'm just
Okay.
getting my, because the audio interface I have is Focusrite Scarlett.
Scarlett. Okay. Awesome. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Everybody's going to benefit for it. I'm going to teach you how to edit audios. This is not sound designer. How to edit your dialogue for it to be rich. Right. We're going to look at that. So I think we are covered as we progress in the course. We have that separate arrangement will give us speed. That separate arrangement will give us speed, but we are still going to unfold. These other things that you will now add to make everything cohesive. Any other question?
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Is Ugochi here?
Yeah.
Do you have any question?
I think I wanted to ask initially, are we going to be doing anything related to animation here?
If we are doing anything related to animation. Now, animation is broad. Okay? Animation is broad. There is 2D animation, there's 3D animation, there is motion graphics, right, where we animate text and all that kind of stuff. So, which part are you looking at?
I think more of 3D.
3D?
Graphics
3D graphics.
also. Yeah.
Okay. We are not going to go. Okay, continue.
Like cartoon characters, something like that.
Cartoon characters. Nah, well,
We
that's
won't do anything that.
that's a separate. I can teach you a framework where you're going to use AI, right? But that one is so far off because the softwares you're going to learn is totally different from what we are teaching. You're not going to use DaVinci Resolve to do that. But what I can do is I can, if you're very interested in that, I can arrange a friend of mine who is good at 3D.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, very good, very, very good, who can maybe, give you pointers on where to go. I think there's a free community. I'm going to send you the link to his free community where he has some videos that you can start watching. That one is far off because you're going to learn character design. After character design, you now need to learn how to rig the character, how to now animate the character, do the voice over. It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah. I started it. If you check I don't know if any of you have seen my portfolio before. I know how to do the character, how to do character animation, like character styling and all of that. But that's where I ended. I moved into rigging where I was rigging a character, but that is mainly 2D. You understand? When it comes to 3D now, you now have to go into Blender, Cinema 4D, Unreal Engine, and that one is a lot of work.
Okay.
So we might not. It's not we might not. We're not going that
Move
direction.
on.
We are not going to that direction.
Alright, this is also fine. I I'd see how much I would gain or learn
Okay.
at the end of yeah.
Okay.
I have a cooking channel and I usually give people to edit. So
Oh
I'm not
wow,
always
that's amazing.
satisfied. I'm
Okay.
not always satisfied with the editing though. I just okay, we've tried. I've told you to go back over and over again. It's okay. Let me just let this one pass. So that's how I just end up posting it anyway.
Okay.
So I think this would help me a bit.
Yeah, it will
Not
help
a
you.
lot.
It will help you,
A
but
lot.
you might not be editing your videos later on. Now, there is
Okay.
something I teach my client. I teach my clients how to give me what they want for me to edit what they are looking at, what they have in their mind. A lot of persons will be like, okay, take this video. Do you give your editors like a script? Like, this is what I have in mind. Do you give them something like that to work with? After you've given them the video, do you shoot the videos yourself?
No, my husband does.
Okay, your husband shoots the video. Is he a professional videographer or filmmaker?
No, he's also like a YouTube learner, like YouTube learner.
Okay.
Trying his best to.
All right. So this will help you.
Even I think he follows you. He was the one who registered the course for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't know
Amazing.
if you saw there was a person that was asking you questions continuously. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That's wonderful.
So
That's wonderful. Okay, so
yeah.
what we are going to do is this, all right? I'll try as we progress in the course, I'll try to change my style of teaching, so you too can, because editing is taxing, is demanding.
Yeah.
I edit my videos, right? I edit all my videos, right? I know the work I put in. You understand? So you will learn it so you can train somebody else. You can train your editors to edit what you want.
Okay.
You
That
get,
makes sense.
now that this doesn't mean you can't edit the videos, because what we are teaching, you become an editor. Right now, I'm initiating you to become an editor, right? But since you are a busy person, you might not have the time to edit all the videos yourself. You can now teach them what to do. This is what you expect. You create a particular document. Okay. This is what, and I'm going to teach you guys how to use AI to create lists, a short list. So if your husband is filming you now, when you create a short list, you create everything and you give him that list. All right, you give him that script that contains camera angles, contains what he needs to shoot, the point of view he needs to do. All he just needs to do is just follow the instruction, do it. Right? He doesn't need to think too much. Now, when you now carry all of that you have shot and you give to the person who edits them, and you give him, this is the script, this is the manuscript, the master script. Once they look at it, scene one, scene two, they have all the footage. They know what to put in. They are now going to use their own creativity to spice it up. You understand? But now it carries like the core narrative of what you want that video to look like. All right.
So if I'm getting you, when we're creating this, because I know what we usually do is we would actually create it like we'll generate each scenes and make a video for each scenes.
Yeah.
But then we don't put the angle we want to shoot the scenes from.
Yeah.
Or
That's
we
very
don't put that.
important. You need to put short
Yes.
lists. It's called a
I
short
think
list.
I think the struggle is sometimes it's difficult to position the camera to get what you want, and also the lightning. If sometimes it's not just working, that's how it's not just working. I just get frustrated and say, okay, let me take a break. The lighting is not doing
It's
it for
not
me.
giving.
You're not getting the angle. So it's a whole lot of. So that means from all I'm hearing here now, or all I've learned today is I need to I need to be able to shoot properly to
Yes,
actually
that's
get
one.
what I want. And
Yeah.
yeah, so if I can't shoot properly, if I can't get the angles, I won't be able to like even the editing will be like a waste of time.
Yeah.
Struggle. Oh yeah, it's to be a very big struggle. So I think that's basically the challenge. Shooting it first.
Eh,
The foundation before the what can the right job.
Yeah, so now we've not gone into that. That part is very interesting, right? So I'm going to teach you lighting, how to light up different lighting setups, right? We're going to do it real time. We're going to do it real time. I remember one of the classes I had. My wife was our model, was my test subject. So I had her sit down. I started showing the audience, and I'm still going to do it again, but I will have to bribe her to do that for me. I will do that again. So you're going to see the different lightings, how to create talking head. If you're shooting talking head videos, how to light your subject properly. If you're shooting creative video, so that's covered. Then shooting techniques, that's covered too. All right. Another thing is the camera settings. Don't worry, you're in good hands. Okay,
Alright.
you're in good hands.
Also, like the tools and equipment we'll use, do you have like a specific kind of lights you advise to
Yeah,
buy,
I
or a
am.
specific kind of microphone and all
Yeah,
those?
so I'm creating another creator toolkit. That creator toolkit
Okay.
will be um it's going to be in three parts. It's going to be premium because someone like DB of Tech, he's premium. He has like 3 to 4 Godox lights, like pro way. Yeah. So if you want to go that level, I'm going to put like a list for that level. Then I'll put for
Okay.
mid range. Then I'll put for people like us that are still trying
Of
to.
course,
So I'm still going to put another list. So it's going to be 3 tiers, right? Premium,
Okay.
standard, then basic. So anyone that you can afford, budget friendly setups. Now, it's very important.
I need to also along with the chair and table, also if possible.
Chair and table. Yeah, if you want chair and table, of course I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I'm your guy.
Also, I wanted to say something now. Also, what do you think about a faceless or
You,
a channel where you don't have to be physically present, maybe just some part of your body shown, something like that, and another channel where you can fully show yourself. What do you think about the two of them? Which you think, or do you think both would perform better? The same way, or one would perform better? So,
no,
what do you think about that?
okay. Now it's almost like a faceless channel, right? The first one, it's almost like a faceless channel.
Yeah.
Now it depends on the kind of content. There are some kind of content that people will resonate with when it's faceless. The moment you show your face, your views will drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. The moment you show your face, your views will drop. So what you need to do is don't say let me choose between both. Do both of them. See which one
Well,
the numbers.
yeah.
You understand? See which one the numbers are increasing. The number, like you have much numbers, then double down on that.
That's why I kind of like animation,
Yeah.
because
Okay. So
even my channel, I don't show my
you
face.
don't show your face.
It's
Okay.
just the cooking here in my hands.
Now you
And
can support. We can support that with You can support that with um, AI generated videos, right? Because when it comes to animation, you animating is more tedious than you filming. Sometimes it will take you 3 weeks to rig a particular character, so it's a lot of work.
true.
It's a lot of work. So what I would say is you're going to look for a way where you blend maybe AI generated content. Like some of the things I'm teaching you, you can use it for YouTube automation, especially when we get into the AI part.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I think no more questions. All right, we're all good.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, we're all good for now. I think we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. So
Yeah, sir.
yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Sam.
Yeah, It's not like a question, though, but I want to know the material you taught us with, will it be made available?
Every material I'm teaching you with will be made available.
Oh, good.
There's a disclaimer though. You know what the disclaimer is now? It still remains my property, so that's just the disclaimer. But our auntie Ugochi can share with her husband. I give her the permission to share with her husband. The materials. Yes, so he can watch. He can.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have time, so he pushed through to next Yeah, he's going to give me all the private line just to concentration, so it's not going to be
Awesome, no problem then. Okay, so thank you guys so much. I hope one thing I like doing is I like asking for feedback. How was today's class? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll be sending this document to the chat. I'll send both on Telegram and WhatsApp, right? And what else? For the video will be ready. The playback of all of this will be ready by tomorrow morning. Okay. I hope tomorrow morning is not too late.
No.
Okay. Awesome then. So thank you guys. I really appreciate. Thank you for your time. I enjoyed our first official class. I'm looking forward to Saturday. Saturday will be good. By Saturday we should be able to round up the module 1 totally. Then I think we'll round up the module 1. We'll now enter content creation. We'll start talking about some things. Then the module 3 will now go into phone. All right. We'll start looking at settings. Yeah, that's how it's going to unfold. So have a wonderful night rest. Thank you, and God bless. Good night.
God bless you both. Have a wonderful night.
All right, bye guys.
Good night.